good. I have to admit, right now
On the struggle bus.
we'll get there.
Uh-huh. So, Eric, I know Monday Night Football's going on, but guess what? So are we. And we're still going to have maybe an abridged show, but we're going to have a good show. Uh, talk about a little bit about the schedule West Virginia has to start next year, about maybe some D2 transfers. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Can they help? Go back and talk about another D3 guy that came in and kicked some ass and took some names. And, of course, we'll talk about the portal that might open up and then end the show with the hot mess, or are they close to getting their shit together and being a hot team, the basketball squad. So, Eric, how are you doing on this fine, cold Monday?
I'm doing good, man. Maybe a little too much snow removal this weekend, but I'm holding up.
Oh yeah. So,
How about
so
you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. My neighbor was on vacation, so we shoveled him like last weekend. My son went out shoveling his driveway. He came back and he has a blower and he did my whole driveway, and it was just like it's amazing. Yes, I have to get the nooks and crannies though, but still, it's nice. No, I'll tell you what, things are starting to quiet down. It's the calm before the storm. Here we like to talk about all the other podcasts. Might be Coos, it might be Locked On with Mountaineer Paul, it might be ESPN, it might be heck, I don't know, cooking with whoever. I mean, we'll talk about it. We're not afraid to talk about other people's stuff. So, Eric, uh, have you had a chance to look at some of the first three games that the Mountaineers have to play here? I'll go through them here for you if you haven't.
Let's first one is Coastal Carolina. Is that what we were talking about?
That's right. I don't think Rich Rod really had much control over who's put on there, but I think they did a little bit of changing of the toughness of the schedule, so to say, by taking Alabama off. The Chancellors have been doing a good job, and I think they have Jamie Chadwell. Is that the guy's name, Jamie Chadwell?
Yep.
Wasn't he a Liberty? But
He's good.
he's good, but I don't think he's been quite as effective. I think he's just about 500. But Coastal has a new guy now named Ryan Beard, who just came from Missouri State, and I used to live out that way by Missouri State in Waynesville, Missouri. But Coastal Carolina, I don't think they're going to give Rich Rod much of a problem. What do you think the chances of the Mountaineers starting off? And usually the Mountaineers start off like, the 31st of, like Labor Day weekend, but maybe that's just the way it falls, 9-5. What do you think the chance of the Mountaineers starting off with 1-0? What do you think? Pretty good?
Well, I like our chances in the sense that I think the folks that we're going to have coming back, because let's face it, we are way too early on this prognostication.
Right.
I think having some players coming back that are key players will be good. The players that we're bringing in will be good. I think we have a better than 50% chance of winning. Is it Chanticleers or what are they called? I forget
The Chandeliers.
the Chandeliers.
Your song. That's a good song. You know the girl that has the black hair from here and white hair from here over?
See ya.
See ya, yeah, Chandeliers.
Well,
That's
I do like Cheap Thrills, but yeah,
I love that chick. I'm
she
sorry,
actually is pretty good. Anyway, I think it's pretty good. What do you think? I mean, they've been on a run. The last 5 years plus. They've been doing pretty good.
1, 2, 3. Okay, sorry. But yeah, they're gonna start 1-0. There's no doubt about it. Come on, guys. Mountaineer Field, Coastal Carolina. I think that's a home game. I think it's a home. I'm pretty sure it's a home game, the opening game. UT Martin is the second team on the schedule on 9/12. So it's another Saturday game. They're called the Skyhawks. That's made up. I don't think they were called. It has to be one of those team names that they just changed it to because it was PC. But they finished the season last year 6-6, and they got curb stomped by a terrible Oklahoma State team. So if you think the Mountaineers are not going to hang a W on these losers, then you're freaking dead wrong. Eric, thoughts?
That sounds like a line from Step Brothers. You have to call me Skyhawk.
Skyhawk.
They that's a team that we ought to beat pretty handily. No disrespect to them, but you're right. They had their hands full against OSU, and we all know how OSU did this year.
So Skyhawk, that kind of sounds like if I was at the FurCon in Pittsburgh and I was actually a fox with maybe wings, and I call myself Skyhawk. Or maybe I'm a hawk. I don't know. I just seems like someone would use that name for like Avatar. But okay, third game. West Virginia is going to play in Charlotte, North Cackalack. Virginia's been kind of I don't know, in the shitter. Like this time of year, shitter's full Clark. Virginia, they're not very good. ACC has not been that great. So,
did you bump your head?
What's that?
Did you bump your head, buddy? They're good this year.
They're good this year, but I mean, other than they're pretty solid in 2026, or they're pretty solid 2025. But all the like year before that, they lost their quarterback. So I don't know. I don't think they can hang a couple good seasons together. And because we're West Virginia, and Eric, if you experience this, I'm not a West Virginia, but I enlisted in the Army in the state of West Virginia, and I claimed it as my residence for a number of years. So I consider myself, a West Virginian. But son of a gun, if you say, oh, Morgantown or Fairmont or Granville or Westover, they're like, oh, I have a friend that lives in Virginia. Do you ever get that shit?
We do, and West Virginians are funny. We when people, because we have a lot of folks who come into Morgantown in particular for the university, and a lot of them end up liking it here and staying. And so they'll say, like, when they get asked, where are you from? They'll say, oh, I'm from West Virginia. And West Virginians can be a little funny about that. We're like, you may live here, but you're not from here. No, Shane, buddy, you're one of the ones that we're glad to have you here.
Yeah, but I lived here for like 9 years. I listed from there. So on my like entry paper, it said West Virginia and all that kind of happy shit. And I was in the West Virginia National Guard for a number of years. So I don't know.
You probably listened to Tony Caridi.
Yeah.
And people remind Tony he's not from here. He's one of us, but he's not from here. But I'm not that way. I have to admit, I used to be, but I'm not. But as far as Virginia goes,
right. I'm not from West Virginia, but I'm a West Virginia. I think that's the way it would go, right?
Buddy, you can tell people you're from here. But getting back to your question, I think Virginia, I have some bad, reactions because Rich Rod had a bad run with Virginia.
Yeah,
didn't go so well.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for redemption. So this is going to be a big game. I'm circling this one already. This is a big game for the Mountaineers. And I think, DeShante Clears, if I'm saying that correctly, let's get that one under our belt. That'll be, a good game. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think we're going to truck them, maybe. But that should be a win. Tennessee, we ought to be flexing a little bit. Tennessee Martin. Yeah. And then when Virginia comes to town, we better bring the brass knuckles because we owe them.
Polish in the UT game, and then Virginia, you get to kind of see who your number ones are by then. You got to kind of rhythm going. You still don't have all your bag of tricks exposed because, you have home games. And I'm just about done with this damn cold, but it's still here a little bit. But so bear with me, guys. So Arizona, Cincinnati, Houston, Kansas, Oklahoma State are home games. Now, we'll go through each one of those, and we'll talk about the likelihood of West Virginia winning. We'll give them a percentage. Arizona, I would say, is probably a 70% chance the Mountaineers pull it off. What would your rating be for that game?
Again, it's so hard to say, but
It's way
I'm going to give. You said that's home.
a home game. All those five are home games.
Okay, I'm going to give us a 60% against Arizona.
I like that. We're about on the same page there. So let's just mark that down as a W. Cincinnati played really good last year. They're going to be great this year again. West Virginia has it at home. I give that a 50-50 ball, 50-50 chance.
I was going to say the optometer in me is going to give that 40%.
Okay, I can
because I think Cincinnati could be even better this year than they were last year, and we could be anywhere from we could be the the Texas Tech for 26 to we could some stumbling blocks. Who knows?
Let me get my paper here. I was writing all this stuff down. So right now, West Virginia could either be 4-1 or 5-0. We just don't know. So give or take. Houston, I think West Virginia has their number. I'm going to give it, since they're coming home, West Virginia has their shit together. I don't think Houston's going to be able to win this one. I give the Mountaineers a 60% chance with this game.
I'm going to give us a 65% chance.
Oh, that's a good one. So let's say Cincinnati's a loss. That brings us to 5-1. Kansas, boy, you don't know what you get with Kansas. I'll let you go first with this one. I have no idea.
So, I'm predicting Kansas is, next year they're going to have a trip-up season. They finally lost their quarterback, I believe.
Right,
I believe he's done.
He's 30.
And he's been. What's that?
He's 30 years old now.
Yeah, he's the Aaron Rodgers of college football. He's been their secret weapon, and he's one of those guys that when you think you've got him, he slips out of the pocket and gets 30 yards. I think they're finally going to have a rough season when we're playing them, because they've had rough seasons, but when we were playing them, they were humming right along.
Right.
I think we're finally going to. Probably all the wrong reasons, but what the heck? We don't have much factual information anyway. I'm going to give us a 70% on that one.
This is just the field test right now. I agree with 70. You. I think West Virginia was so far 6-1. These Big 12 games aren't in order. Just going to home games first. So Oklahoma State, they're at their rock bottom. That is a 90% chance of winning. I think West Virginia will be 7-1. If they can go 4 out of 5 for their home games, win 4 out of 5, I think that's a solid freaking success.
I think that's a great success. Now the Virginia game, not 100% certain, but man, I want that game bad. I really do.
I do too. I just want to start the season 3-0, go to Big 12 play.
I got friends who live in Richmond.
Yeah.
So,
no, everybody knows somebody down that way, it seems like. But so the road games, West Virginia only has 4 of them. So the schedule plays in their favor this year. They go to Utah, which is a tough place to play. Texas Tech, tough place to play. TCU and Iowa State. All 4 of those are terribly hard places to play ball. Iowa State has a coaching change.
Yep.
And when Penn State lost their coach, Franklin was fired, I was one of the first ones to say, hey, Iowa State, I think it's going to be their guy. And sure enough, it was. And I'm not right very often, but I talk so much shit on here. It's like throwing spaghetti on the wall. Something's going to stick. So, I'll take that for what it is. But
hey, every win, claim every one.
I'm claiming it, brother. Iowa State. Do you think West Virginia can beat them? What's your percentage on that one? Because I think that's the the most likelihood that West Virginia can win a road game.
That's the one I think we can win, and I'm going to give us this is optimistically high,
Yeah.
but I'm going to give us a 65% chance because I think that program losing Campbell was a hell of a coach. So not only are they going to lose him, but they're going to lose a ton of players here in the transfer
Yeah,
portal.
I think they're moving with them.
Yeah.
TCU.
Mhm.
I just don't know where the needle moves for me for that one. Any
What do
thought?
you don't have one? You don't have I got one, but
Shoot, I want to hear yours first.
uh, TCU is a program that we have played well against for the most part consistently. This year we should have beat them if it weren't for a couple of plays. That was a game. It was homecoming for us. We had a great showing that night. Um,
Yeah.
I'm going to give us a 50% chance. I'm going to say it's a toss up.
Okay. I'm feeling that. I think it's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So if they were playing at home again, I would say 60, maybe 70%. But I think that's a 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
And if West Virginia can pull that out, they could be have 9 wins. But let's just call that 50-50 and make that a loss. Texas Tech, I think West Virginia is going to lose to, and so is Utah. But the chances are still maybe 20 or 30% that they might pull those off. We'll have to see as the season goes. But, rounding it up, that puts West Virginia at 8 wins and 4 losses. And that's not a bad year, too.
That would be a great year too. And we're way too early on this, and you know I get it. Everybody wants to be overly optimistic because I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that we surprise Texas Tech. Rich is really good at getting teams to perform early,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think 8-4 would be a great season.
Yeah, I think TCU might be the easiest, and then maybe Jack Trice Stadium. But let's just say they win both those, and then they're 9-3, and then they lose one home game, and they split the 4 games. That's 9-3. That's a hell of a great. But winning in Salt Lake's not easy. Okay, uh, and when we're saying TCU's the easiest road game for these guys, uh, that's not saying much. But Texas Tech is going to be better. I mean, these guys that they got, they didn't just get them for one and done. These guys are going to be here next year. A lot of the guys, that Rodriguez monster, number 10, he's gone, but they have a lot of speed, a lot of talent. So I think that's definitely a loss. But West Virginia is going to be competitive next year. We can't wait to see what happens in the transfer portal, and that's coming up here after the holidays. So the holiday schedule, we'll talk about it right now. Next week is the Christmas week. So we're going to do a Monday night show, probably be a half an hour show. It'll be the 22nd. Not going to do a Thursday show next week, so bear with us. We'll do a Thursday show this week. It'll be at 9 o'clock, the standard time, or excuse me, 8 o'clock, the standard time. We ran a little late last week to do it, but back to recruiting. D2. Now, who was it D2 or D3 that we had that monster fullback by the name of Owen Schmidt?
Oh, I'm sorry. You got to be more specific, buddy.
From
Yeah, D3 Wisconsin Whitewater.
I'm glad because I didn't have that down. Wisconsin Whitewater. I was trying to think of the name of the school. He sent VHS tapes, kids. Like the kind your 7-year-old ballerina recital was on, Eric. When you're tippy-toe-toeing through the tulips. That's the kind of, he's like, I'm going to record over Eric's recital. I'm going to put my football stats on there and see if Rich Rod wants me to play ball for him. And sure enough, what the hell? Come on down. We'll see what you got. And we all know what happened there. He's one of the fan favorites, still is. Love
Oh yeah.
watching highlights every now and then. I brush them off, watch them, gives me a little bit of goosebumps. Uh, Now, we talked about the one cat last week. His name was, what the hell is his name? What was his name? Marcus. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. It'll come to me. Marcus, what was his name? I'll have to look it up now because I can't remember. Sorry, kids. Oh, Marcus Stokes. Marcus Stokes. I'm sorry. He's that West Florida kid who had a made a rap video, dropped the hard R in his rap video. People went crazy and overreacted, and got to realize it's a high school kid. It's a child. Okay, the kid's probably 16 or 17. And everybody withdrew all the offers. He's supposed to go to Florida, had offers from Penn State, all these big schools. Now, he's at West Florida. I think he's 6'2", 220. Runs like a gazelle, has a nice live arm, and he's lighting up down there. Guess what? Phones are ringing, and they're like, yo, Marcus, what video? How'd you like to play some ball, some power four ball for some big boy programs? And Rich Rod was one of those cats that like gave him a call. So they're in the talks with him. Now, we talked about him more last week. This week, a guy literally plays at the same field my kid plays on. And I've seen this kid around. I've seen him play. I was surprised to see West Virginia in the mix along with 30 other schools. This kid is from Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania, the Rock. And they're not the Rockets like the high school Rockets. They're like some Lion or something, which is kind of stupid. I don't know. They change names of these the Division II schools every now and then. But the kid's name's Kanye Thompson. And I can see him being a Mountaineer. So if Division II and III players in the portal, they could go in the portal at any time. So it kind of gets them front loaded, and you can get some talent that way. I don't know what the market value is on someone playing a D2, D3 ball, but Slippery Rock's defensive back, Kanye Thompson, is a hot name. Okay. Akron. I'm going to alphabetical. Okay. Get my list out. Ready? Akron, Arkansas, Arkansas State, Ball State, Boise State, Boston College, Bowling Green, Charlotte, Duke, Florida Atlantic, Kansas, Kansas State, Kentucky, Marshall, Memphis, Minnesota, Missouri State, Nebraska, Ohio, Penn State, Pitt, Stanford, Syracuse, TCU, Temple, Texas Tech, USF, Virginia, Wisconsin, and the Youngstown State Penguins. A little Keen Appeal action there at the end. Now, Eric, without me telling you his stats, the fact that he got offers from all those schools make you think this guy could fucking ball, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, let me give you some of his stats here if I can pull them up. Okay. Other side of the sheet. Okay. Okay, here we go. So he had 60 tackles, 10 passes defended, 5.5 tackles for losses, 4 forced fumbles, 3 sacks, 2 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. He also returned 4 kicks for 72 yards, 14 punts for 150, and he can ball out. So, guys, I hope he comes. I hope he's a Mountaineer. Same with Marcus Stokes. I know the portals open up. They're going to get some bigger, badder names. But what are your thoughts on D2 guys? I mean, do you think that transfers, at that lower level being that successful?
Well, I love your example that you started off this segment with, and that's Owen Schmidt. And the notion being that before Owen showed up, like you said, with tapes, by the way, he didn't mail them. He showed up. He personally showed up with VHS tapes because he said he only had so many. I think the notion that there are plenty of sleepers at lower levels, and for one reason or another, a lot of times it's just a matter of kids don't get to be seen Beanie Bishop's a classic example of that.
Yeah,
So
visible.
absolutely, Marcus Stone. I think he's a guy with a ton of talent. I think he's matured. I think he's kind of figured out that you can't be the class clown, and your words carry weight. He's somebody who can definitely come here. If you haven't seen his film, all you got to do is jump on YouTube. There's plenty of it up
Yeah,
there.
he can play.
The kid that you're talking about from
Slippery Rock.
thank you. Um, I'm excited about him for two reasons. A, he's another look. We have some great guys coming in to help us out with the secondary, but they're young. This guy's going to come in with experience playing at a little higher level, so that's going to help. But he's also going to fill in. We counted a lot on Preston Fox this year.
Yeah.
Preston Fox did a fantastic job with special teams. We're going to need some help. And it sounds like this kid's got potential where he could help.
Absolutely. I think he can at least be, and I know Rich Rod says I don't sign backups. I think he could start. I think he could play. They are bringing in some longer length, some guys that have a little more length. But something to be said is someone could come up and have low center of gravity, play the run. He can play the run. He can do some special team stuff, punt returns. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see what happens. Now, to close out the show, this is the West Virginia Live Voice of College Football show. But talk about basketball. We talk about basketball here. So, who did not watch that exciting game that literally made me have to get the borax and the Tide stain erasers out for my shorts because I was shitting myself trying to watch that Ohio State game? Eric, I'm going to tell you stuff you already know. Called you Saturday night. I'm like, West Virginia is hanging it on them. Can they keep it up? And no, the answer was, what do you think? What do you think's going on there?
I think this is going to be a good season to have a commiseration, buddy. Thanks for being mine on Saturday. Personally, excuse me. I think Ross is a great coach.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do great things, and I hate calling out names, but I'm going to, and I'm not shaming anybody. We have one outside threat who is consistent this year.
Oh, he's like that.
Yeah, and Honor Huff has been doing phenomenal. The problem is he's 6 foot tall,
right?
And you're playing in a world now where the game is moving towards long players with a ridiculous reach. And at the end of the game, you saw him lean in and try to draw a foul, and all that happened is he got swallowed up. We've got to get more support from Eagle staff. He's capable of doing it. He just hasn't figured out his rhythm, but we got to get him involved, because if you can get two outside scorers, which is why we got him, it makes it difficult, because now you're going to have to pick your poison. And the other thing too is Chance Moore is someone who can play on that perimeter, but he's got a better driving capacity and more creativity in the paint. And also too, Ovieja, I think I said his name right.
You did.
That cat can play inside, but you got to be able to pull some heat off of him. So to me, that's what's killing us. That and the offensive rebounds. Got to get an offensive rebound.
Yeah, the point guard, like they've had Huff play a little bit of point guard, and then I heard the commentator say he doesn't really play point, and then that showed when he stepped out of bounds twice on the baseline trying to make something happen. That court awareness, when you're so used to getting it and just shooting it, he made some great plays. He also made some bonehead plays, but they wouldn't have been in it if it wasn't for him, because he was the one consistent. Everyone else seems to be a little bit streaky, but the one consistent in basketball is if you can rebound. And that's what Huggins hung his hat on, is defensive rebounding. and then it kind of like as the struggles, it kept you in the game. I think there's just a tweak, a tune missing, and the fact that Coach Hodge has these caliber of players playing for the Mountaineers right now. They were physically better for 35 minutes of 40 minutes, like dominated Ohio State. And then there's 5 minutes where they just looked confused.
It was the same story as Clemson. You're exactly right.
So these games, these are big. Like Clemson is a hell of a lot better than Ohio State. That's a fact. Ohio State got beat by Pitt. I don't think Ohio State's that great. Okay, I think Ohio State won the Big 12. So moving forward, I think that's not going to be a very good loss. Right now, it's not a bad loss. But moving forward, when they start shitting the bed and losing 4 or 5 games in their conference, it's not going to be. Now, Xavier, Wake Forest, and Clemson, I think they're solid teams. Okay, Xavier just was light out, just knocking them down. I mean, it looked like a nuclear war, like boom, 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 just bombs going on. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's my assessment.
No, I think you're making an excellent point. Before the game started, I think we were talking that we needed this win. I mean, you want every win,
yeah,
but you needed this win. As strange as that is to say in December that you need a win, but you needed this win because you needed an out of conference victory for your resume. We don't have one that's like worthwhile.
Other than Pitt.
How's Pitt going to be?
I don't know. It's like the ACC. You don't know what's going to happen. I think the fact that they beat Pitt early in the season really holds up because Pitt, the ACC still has street cred. Wake Forest still has street cred. The fact that they did not get blown out and they led for a lot of the game, I think when you look, if you know basketball, I think the committee looks at that. But I don't know, Eric. This is a football program, but we have to talk about basketball when you have a team that is that talented and has tanked that many games most recently. Close.
I think Ross is still playing scientist in the lab. I think he's still trying to find combinations, and you hear that a lot, that you're looking for a combination and you'll hear them refer to, well, this combination is plus 15. Yeah. This combination is plus 5. And that tells you that, it's not just scoring, it's a matter of what's the difference. That when you have this combination, and I don't think he's found that combination. And to me, the 2 keys, if we had 2 keys, I think we'd have those 2 wins, Clemson and Ohio State. Absolutely. And that is, you got to have Eagle staff scoring more consistently.
Foul shots, from winning those 2.
I'm not even going to go into foul shooting, which hurt us, because quite honestly, you make one more foul shot and you win that game. But offensive rebounding, you've got to get some putbacks. There were times under Huggins when our best offense was chuck up a shot, somebody underneath over there is going to get a rebound and put it back in.
Now, I did see a little bit of offensive rebounding from what was the kid you just mentioned who plays? He's like the 3 guy, and
Chance Moore.
Chance Moore. He followed his shot and had a nice follow, and it looked good. But no, guys, just wanted to run down a little bit of the basketball. Basketball, they play 1 game next 3 weeks. Hopefully, they sort it out. Big 12 play starts here in January. That's exactly when transfer portal. We're still going to talk about it because we're West Virginia fans. And I don't know a West Virginia fan that doesn't follow both basketball and football. Okay. Eric, that's all I have. Do you have anything else for the betterment of the Mountaineer Nation?
It has been a crazy signing period with incoming recruits. And the idea that we've had as many, and you're going to hear this now because I've seen some stuff now that Texas Tech pulled ahead to win the Big 12 recruiting season. Everybody's going to get, speculative. We had probably our best recruiting season ever. That's fantastic. We're not done. We've got the holidays coming up. Enjoy that with friends and family. But from what I'm hearing, the number of targets that we have coming in during the portal is shrinking, but they're higher quality targets. And we get those coming in, there's going to be a lot to consider during the off season.
Yeah, if you're a trophy hunter, these are the big bucks. These are the wall hangers. And hey, if you're gonna go big, baby. Go big, baby. With that, I'll say good night to you all. There's Monday Night Football. And you know what, guys? Thanks for tuning in. This is a great time to be a Mountaineer fan. This is a West Virginia live show. I'm the voice of college football. And we're going to say good night to you. And we're going to say good night with the great state of West Virginia's flag. So whether you're a homegrown guy or a guy that just claiming you live there, as long as you're not a Virginian and you're a West Side Virginian, that's what we're talking about. Good night, all.